I wasn't looking for proof that my husband was cheating, but the proof found me. It started with a message that appeared on Ethan's phone while he was in the shower. His phone lit up on the kitchen counter. I didn't even mean to look at it, but the screen showed just enough to freeze my heart. I missed last night already. No name. Just a heart emoji. For a moment, I stood there staring at the phone like it might explode. Ethan and I had been married for 5 years. We had a small house in Portland, a golden retriever named Milo, and a life that felt stable. Not perfect, but real. Ethan worked late often. He was a real estate agent. Late calls and showings were normal. At least that's what I had always believed. But that message didn't feel normal. When he came out of the shower, smiling and toweling his hair, I acted like everything was fine. I kissed him on the cheek and asked if he wanted eggs or toast. Inside, my stomach felt like it was collapsing. That night, when he fell asleep, I picked up his phone. My hands were shaking. The message thread was short, almost too clean, only a few texts. Last night was perfect. I wish we had more time. I can't stop thinking about you. No photos, no name. The contact was saved as just one letter. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. The next morning I asked him casually, "Do you have any new clients lately?" He shrugged. "A few? Anyone interesting?" He smiled. "Just normal people looking for houses." The way he said it made something twist inside me. For the next week, I watched him more closely. He stayed late at the office twice. One night he said he had a showing across town, but something else started bothering me. He had become too careful. He took his phone everywhere now, even to the bathroom. One evening, I decided to follow him. He said he had another showing, a house on the east side. I waited 10 minutes after he left. Then I got into my car and drove after him. My heart was pounding. The whole time, he didn't go to the east side. He drove downtown. And then he parked outside a small restaurant. I watched from across the street. 5 minutes later, a woman walked up to him. Tall, dark hair, confident. She hugged him, not like friends, like lovers. And then they walked inside together. I sat in my car, frozen. Part of me wanted to run in and scream, but another part of me wanted to know everything. So I waited. 40 minutes later they came out, laughing, and then something happened that made my chest tighten. The woman kissed him. Slowly. Like they had done it 100 times before. I drove home in silence that night. But when Ethan walked through the door 2 hours later, he looked nervous, like he knew something had changed. And the worst part? I had no idea that the woman I saw tonight was only the beginning, and the real betrayal hadn't even started yet. For 3 days, I said nothing. I watched Ethan like a stranger. Every smile felt fake. Every kiss felt rehearsed. But something kept bothering me about the woman from the restaurant. She didn't look like a random affair. She looked comfortable with him. Too comfortable. On the 4th day, I decided to do something I had never done before. I searched Ethan's laptop. Most of it was normal. Emails, work files, property listings. But then I found a folder, hidden deep inside his documents. It was called Client Records. Inside were photos of houses, but mixed between them were something else. Photos of the same woman I saw at the restaurant. Pictures from a beach, from a park, from a hotel balcony. My heart started racing. These weren't recent. Some of them were years old, which meant this wasn't a new affair. It had been happening the entire time we were married. Then I noticed something even stranger. In one photo, I recognized the location. It was the lake house where Ethan had taken me on our honeymoon. My hands went cold. I opened the last file in the folder. It was a document, just one sentence, typed across the page. She still doesn't know. I heard the front door open downstairs. Ethan was home early. I quickly closed the laptop and tried to calm my breathing. When he walked into the room, he smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Hey," he said. "Everything okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, we ate dinner in silence at night, but after he went to bed, I couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. This wasn't just cheating. There was something bigger. The next morning, I got the answer. My phone rang while I was making coffee. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. A woman's voice spoke quietly. "Hi. Is this Claire?" "Yes." She paused. Then she said something that made my entire world stop. "My name is Ava. I think we need to talk about Ethan." My throat went dry. I stepped outside onto the porch. "What do you mean?" There was silence for a moment. Then she said, "Because he's been lying to both of us." My heart slammed against my chest. "Both of us?" Her next words were worse than anything I expected. "I'm not his girlfriend," she said. "I'm his fiancée." The phone almost slipped from my hand, but Ava hadn't finished. "And we're supposed to get married in 2 months." For a long time, neither of us spoke. Two women standing on opposite sides of the same lie. Finally, Ava said something unexpected. "Can we meet?" We met the next evening at a quiet cafe. When she walked in, I recognized her immediately. The same woman from the restaurant. Up close, she looked nervous, not arrogant, not proud, just hurt. She sat down across from me. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then she said softly, "I had no idea he was married." I believed her. The shock in her eyes looked real. She opened her purse and pulled out her phone. Photos. Dozens of them. Trips together, holidays, family dinners. And then the final picture, Ethan proposing to her. My stomach twisted. "How long?" I asked. 3 years. She said. 3 years. Almost our entire marriage. Then Ava said something that made the situation even worse. "I thought something was wrong recently. He started disappearing, acting strange." She looked at me. "I think he was seeing someone else too." The room felt like it tilted. "Someone else?" Ava nodded. "I saw messages from another number last week." So Ethan wasn't just cheating once. He was cheating on both of us. That night, Ava and I made a decision. We would confront him together. The next evening, we waited in my living room. When Ethan walked through the door and saw both of us sitting there, the color drained from his face. For once, he had nothing to say. Ava spoke first. "Anything you want to explain?" He looked between us like a trapped animal. Then he said the one sentence that changed everything. "You don't understand." I laughed bitterly. "Oh, we understand perfectly." But Ethan shook his head. "No, you really don't." Then he sat down slowly. And what he said next stunned both of us. "There was never supposed to be 2 of you." Silence filled the room. Then he continued, "There we're supposed to be 3. Ava and I exchanged confused looks. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. "I've been seeing someone else, too," he admitted. But then he said the most unbelievable part. "She's pregnant." The room went silent. Ava stood up slowly. "So you destroyed 3 lives." Ethan looked like he might cry, but Ava surprised both of us. She walked to the door. Then turned back. And said calmly, "Actually, 4. Ethan frowned. "What?" Ava placed a hand on her stomach. "I'm pregnant too, for the first time in 5 years." I watched my husband completely break, but the truth. I felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. Just relief. Because sometimes the biggest twist in a love story is realizing the villain was never worth the tears. And that night, as Ava and I walked out of the house together, I realized something strange. We had both lost the same man, but somehow we had both escaped the same disaster.
Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with new stories every day.